Hey, what's going on everybody? Steve Raiken here. And in this video, I want to talk about 3 reasons why tons of sellers fail when they try to get into the book selling business on Amazon. So I've been selling books on Amazon for a couple of years. I actually taught my mother, who recently retired, how to sell books. She's been selling books for a couple of years as well. And now she's doing it full time, getting great results. So if I could do it, if I could teach my mother to do it, you could definitely do it as well. But there's 3 things in particular that stand out why people fail when it comes to selling books on Amazon. Because selling books on Amazon doesn't take a rocket scientist. Like, anybody can do it. But there's some big hurdles that you're gonna have to face, and there's some challenges that are a little bit outside the box that you might not expect. So without further ado, let's dive right into this video and talk about these 3 reasons why most sellers are gonna fail selling books on Amazon within about 30 days or so, and how you could avoid doing it. So the number 1 reason why people fail within about 30 days of selling books on Amazon, even after seeing hundreds and thousands of people succeed, because there's so many people out there making money with books, is they lack patience. Like, books is one of those things where you really need to be patient. You know, I had some girl message me the other day and she's like, Steve, I went into a thrift store and I scanned like 30 books and there was no good books and I left. This doesn't work. I'm just thinking to myself, like, you gotta scan more than 30 books. Like, I can tell you, like, there's been like 50 times I've scanned like hundreds of books and didn't find anything, right? Now, I'm not a full-time book seller. I don't know it all, but I can tell you right now, sometimes you're gonna win, sometimes you're gonna lose. But the cool thing about books, especially if you live in the right area, and that's the key. You know, I live right near Yukon, so I get a ton of textbooks in. You may or may not have the same opportunities as I do, but I can tell you, there's been hundreds of times that I found books that sell for 70, 80, 100, 150 bucks. There's been tons of times I found 7, 8, 9 books at a thrift store and made $400, $500, $600. So, you know, with selling books, you've got to find the right books, you know, especially with the fees increasing as of late, long-term storage fees, selling fees. The fees they're not minuscule anymore. They're growing rapidly. So, you've got to find the right books, but you've got to also be patient. You've got to go through 50, 100, 150 books. That's why, you know, if you're using the Amazon Seller app, which is a great way to get started, you may want to invest in a Bluetooth scanner. It's one of those scanners you hold in your hand, and it's just a lot quicker because you're using a laser versus using a camera, and it's a numbers game. The more books you scan, the more money you're typically gonna make. So you've got to be patient. If you're gonna go into a thrift store and just spend 10 minutes picking and choosing as a beginner and think you're gonna make it work, it's just not gonna happen. So most people fail because they're not patient. Number 2, you keep saying there's no profitable books. Here's the thing, there might not be any profitable books with thrift stores in your area. Why? Because in certain areas, the thrift stores are actually sending the books off to Amazon or merchant fulfilling them themselves. So that may or may not be a good opportunity for you. Like I said in the first point, you may not live in an area, you might not be around a college or schools or highly literate area. You might not have a lot of profitable books in your area, but that doesn't mean you cannot succeed as a bookseller on Amazon. That just means that specific business model of going to thrift stores or maybe library sales, so on or so forth, doesn't work. You might have to get into online arbitrage, and there's softwares that are out there that allow you to scan various listings and set up various criteria, and you can actually buy books off of Amazon or off of other websites and flip them on Amazon. Now, there's certain rules and stuff that you're gonna have to obey, but there's plenty of people out there crushing it with online arbitrage with books. So thrift stores might not be best for you. It might be library sales, or it might be church sales, or it might be garage sales, or it might be flea markets, or Craigslist, or Facebook Marketplace. Don't say you can't make money with books or it doesn't work for me. It just means you haven't found the right recipe. There's a recipe that works for you, but it may require a little more work, or it may require you to think outside the box. So that's another big reason why I see a lot of people failing within 30 days or less. They're not patient, and 2, they've got this limiting belief that, oh, I can't make money, but they've only tried like one business model in terms of books. And number 3, a lot of people have a big limiting belief that says, I can't make money selling books, or maybe they start selling books and they're like, oh, the fees are too high. Like, I'm 100% with you. Like, the fees are kind of getting a little crazy lately, but you've got to adjust. How did we adjust in our business? My mother and I, we stopped going after the $7 books. We stopped going after the $9 books, the $11 books. And now we only go after books that are 15, 18, 20 bucks, typically minimum. Now you might be thinking to yourself, well, Steve, how the heck am I gonna find that many books at that bare minimum of a price? You've got to get creative. There's a lot of different tips that we give out in various videos that I give out, sharing how we find more books. You know, obviously one of them's attacking the bins. When new inventory comes out, you want to hit it. There's different things you could do in terms of learning the color system. If your thrift stores go by various colors, learning what's new inventory and avoiding the old stock. Making friends with the managers. Like I said before, trying out different business models in terms of, it's not necessarily a business model, but different sourcing strategies like church sales or library sales or online arbitrage. But yeah, fees are high, but there's plenty of opportunities out there. Just stop going for the books that are 7, 8, 9, 10 bucks, especially if you're new. Make sure to really spend some time in your Amazon seller app and set up the, set up all the different things properly, how much money it's gonna cost to ship, setting up your fees, all the back end boring stuff, but set that up properly so you can make good decisions and you're not wasting your time. Like one of the biggest mistakes I made when I was a clothing seller on eBay was I was buying all these clothes, but I was only making like 3, 4, 5 bucks at first, and I just burnt myself out. You want to have some room to be able to lower the price if the price crashes, or the room to undercut a little bit if you want to move your inventory a little quicker, so on and so forth. But don't use the excuse that fees are too high. Just find higher priced books. Trust me, they're out there, and you don't have to find hundreds of books to make a good living. Like my mom, she only has, I think, like 120 items in her inventory right now. And she's been doing anywhere between $3,000 to $4,000 a month. Now, it's not all profit. Some months are higher or lower, but she's usually working at about a 50% profit margin. So she's doing really well, just screwing around, 64 years old, 63. I'm not sure. Sorry, Mom, for throwing that number out there. But she's a freaking amazing woman, crushing it. And she's retired. So it doesn't matter how old you are, doesn't matter how young you are, doesn't matter any of that nonsense. Like, there's money to be made out there. You just gotta find the way. And I love books. Why do I love books? Because they're cheap to buy for the most part. They're easy to ship off. They're fun. You could read books. You could send them off. You could get smart. There's a big demand for books. Books are pretty expensive in the store, especially textbooks for students, hundreds of dollars. So there's just a great opportunity, and especially with the FBA program, it's an awesome way to be able to make some extra cash. So I love books, guys. I think you should get into it, but those are the 3 reasons why most people are gonna fail. So keep that in mind. I don't want you to fail. I want you to succeed. There's plenty of opportunities to go around for everybody. So go out there, stay optimistic, and make it happen. If you enjoyed this video, like, comment, and subscribe. If you're interested in learning about selling books on Amazon, check the first link out down below. I think you'll really enjoy that. But with that being said, I'll see you in the next video, and have a great day. Peace.